Feel all of the pressure, Dak. All the pressure's on Dak Prescott, man. Let's talk about the Cowboys. Let's have a comfortable, casual conversation. We got Christmas tomorrow, so we in the holiday spirit. I'm in the mood of giving, so I will give y'all the truth as always.
Comfortable, you say?
Yeah.
What happened? 2.0 of the web series?
Uncomfortable. I was just getting exhausted.
Smoke.
3 weeks ago, the Cowboys wide receivers were blamed for the demise of the offense, for the offensive struggles. Owner, general manager Jerry Jones, he came out and said it's the wide receivers. It's CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. They're not doing enough. They're not where they're supposed to be when they are supposed to be there. That was 3 weeks ago, y'all. But what happened 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, Dak Prescott, he got out of character. He said that he loved criticism. He lived for criticism. He was glad criticism is back. Well, realistically speaking, ain't nobody ever glad to be criticized. If you are glad to be criticized, that means you have done something worthy of criticism. So 3 weeks ago, you have owner and general manager Jerry Jones come out and say it's on the receivers. 2 weeks ago, you have star quarterback Dak Prescott come out and say he loves criticism. And then here and now this week, star wide receiver, four-time Pro Bowl wide receiver, Amari Cooper comes out and he is venting about how he wants more touches. He loves that the team is winning, but he said the team is winning because of the defense. So from Jerry Jones, Hall of Famer, to Dak Prescott, face of the franchise, to Amari Cooper, perennial Pro Bowler, the team on offense is starting to unfold. The nucleus of all of this unfolding, if you will, the center point, the first atom, whatever you want to call it.
The taco shell.
It comes down to Dak Prescott.
Oh, here you go.
That's what it comes down to. Obviously, Dak is the blame for Dak's own criticism. Dak is in part to blame for Amari Cooper's lack of touches. Dak Prescott is the one who distributes the football. And Dak is to blame for Jerry Jones blaming the receivers, because the receivers would not have been blamed if the offense would not have been struggling. And Dak Prescott was the reason the offense is struggling. So the pressure is on Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott is the problem. And if you are the problem, then I need you to be the solution. So I don't see pressure going to anybody else on this Cowboys team. All of the pressure is on Dak Prescott.
There is no pressure on Dak Prescott. There is no pressure on the Cowboys.
So if you don't fix your tie bar,
is it messed up?
Fix it myself.
Come on and do it then. I don't look like you, Nino. What the hell? New Jack City looking in. Do I look better now? I'm trying to look festive, but damn. Jingle bells. I'm looking a mess up in this sucker here. What is going on? This tie bar ain't made for this suit and this tie.
There it is.
That ain't better.
That's better.
That is not better. Matter of fact, this is the best way I could do it.
America, y'all get on him, bro. You see what I got to deal with, America?
Goodness.
You see what I come up here like this, he come up there like that, y'all.
Okay. We ready now?
Yeah.
Since I got to look good. You want to do a show with Shannon Sharp? Is that how you want to do it? You just want somebody to look good and can talk? God damn. Here we go. No pressure on the Dallas Cowboys. No pressure on Dak Prescott. Look at me, still a pro, can still roll with it. You know why? Because pressure comes with consequence.
Okay.
Now, Acho, what are the consequences for this game coming up for the Dallas Cowboys? Go.
I'll play off seed here.
Look how your hands went. Look at what, you lost your weight? You lost your strength? What happened? You got nerve damage? Your hands just start doing this. No consequences. So guess what, bro? No pressure. How you gonna cook something up like this and talk about the words of Jerry Jones and the words of Dak Prescott and the words of Amari Cooper? Talk is cheap, brother. Nobody give a damn about that, what you saying, because all I can see is what you're doing. And what the Dallas Cowboys just did is clinch a playoff berth. Second team in the conference behind the Green Bay Packers to clinch a playoff berth. So wait a minute. Acho's going to find the pressure not at the bottom of the ladder where most teams are, not at the lowest rungs, but Acho's going to climb up. Excuse me. Sorry, teams. I'm sorry, teams trying to make the playoffs. I'm sorry, bubble teams. I'm sorry, teams that already have missed the playoffs. I'm sorry, teams that, you may be the 5th seed, 6th seed. Good luck to you, play-in team. You're going to go up to number 2 in clinching, already secure, already mentally knowing that they get the reset for the postseason. And you're going to say, the pressure's on y'all. And they're like, excuse me, Dougie Fresh, can you look at the other 14 teams underneath us still fighting with consequence, with real pressure? So as long as you want to talk about pressure, we can't skip that line, brother. Too many teams have grave consequences on the line, but not the Dallas Cowboys.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
but
real,
remember,
that's real.
so I'm not saying the pressure's on y'all.
Okay.
I'm saying the pressure's on you, Dak.
I can go there too.
Looking at it, I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, wait a second. Jerry Jones should probably be general manager of the year. I don't even know if that is an award or not. But Jerry Jones drafted a rookie who has 12 sacks, made the Pro Bowl in Micah Parsons.
Beast.
And you have a second-year player, second-round pick in Trayvon Diggs that has 10 interceptions. The last time we saw a defense with two players in the same year, 10 interceptions, 10 sacks, 2007, Cromartie, Sean Merriman. That's the last time we saw
San Diego Chargers.
You already know San Diego Superchargers. But we see it from the Cowboys this year with a rookie and a second-year player. So Jerry Jones, no pressure. You've done your part. Zeke, no pressure because you're hurt. And how we play in the NFL, if you hurt, man, but he's hurt. You know, give him a pass. No pressure on you. You've done your part. Defense, Micah Parsons, no pressure. Diggs, no pressure. DeMarcus Lawrence, you've been hurt all season. Came back balling. No pressure. Defensive backs overachieved, and Anthony Brown made up for his poorest games last couple of weeks. No pressure.
No pressure?
But Dak Prescott, when I look around the entire building, when I look around the entire organization, Mike McCarthy, he ain't got no pressure because his team collectively is doing well. Owner and general manager Jerry Jones, he ain't got no pressure because he's drafted incredibly well. CeeDee Lamb still has nearly 1,000 yards for a second-year player. He ain't got no pressure because though he has drops, he is still achieving adequately. Amari Cooper, he ain't got no pressure because he's the one saying, I want the ball more. Zeke, no pressure because Zeke been hurt. Defense clearly already addressed that, no pressure. So when you look at you, not y'all, not the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he is the only one who has pressure. What is his consequence? I'll get to that a little bit later.
You better think about it.
Large-scale consequences.
Yeah.
But what is his consequence?
What is his consequence?
There are some.
Huh? Oh, stop it. There are a few $100 million players on this team. Amari Cooper, one of them. Guess what? You can't talk your way out of inadequate play. Oh, you know what? I want the ball more. That's like me saying, man, I want to be in on third down more, coach. And coach like, fool, that ain't why you ain't getting sacks. It's because you ain't wide open. Amari Cooper, let me help you out in football. I have never seen repeatedly somebody wide open not get the football. You know what? When you open, that's a whole different conversation. And how dare you try to pin Dak to the wall and put the pressure on you, because Dak is the same dude that covered for you. But you got to know who you're talking about. Dak Prescott ain't throwing you no 50-50 balls. You don't believe me? Oh, Marcellus, what the hell you talking about? You can't even get your tie bar straight. How the hell you going to tell me how to play football? Ask my man who used to play for y'all, the Dez Bryant of the world. Ask Dez Bryant about Dak Prescott throwing 50-50 balls. The first thing that went wrong in Dez Bryant's career was the fact that he stayed glued to the cornerbacks a little too much for Dak Prescott's liking. Tony Romo doesn't give a damn. Here you go. I know you're going to figure this out, right? 50-50 balls. Dak Prescott is methodical. Dak Prescott is measured. Dak Prescott got the M's like you, too. They get their money because they know how to do it. You cannot take a machine that is measured and methodical like Dak Prescott, who's not going to go out there and just throw the ball up. He's going to do calculated experiences. He's going to look and say, who's the progression? Who's it supposed to go to? And more importantly, are you wide open? That's Amari Cooper off the board. Zeke, missing game. Oh, Zeke's hurt. Dak got hurt. Zeke missed a game. Dak missed a game. Zeke, you ain't got no excuse. Once again, on my knee, I got a rub on it to get some Bengay, and then I could play better. Dak like, dog, I could have said the same thing about my calf. I'm struggling since the injury. You're struggling since your rookie year. What the hell is wrong with you? Zeke off the board. Jerry Jones can't talk about this team and try to splice it between Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. Mike McCarthy like, yeah, look at the record. This is my team. Dak's like, look at the team. That's my team. I'm on the field. I crossed the white lines. Who is your general? Who is your leader? Dak Prescott. Let's talk real, man. Dak Prescott is the ultimate reason why the Dallas Cowboys are in this position. One, it's what you can't measure about Dak Prescott that is so valuable to this team. Think of the collection of personalities. Think of the collection of performances. Some people are overachieving. You want to talk about Schultz. Some people are underachieving. You want to talk about Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott. What is keeping this steady, Eddie? It is Dak Prescott. No pressure on him because there's no consequence to him.
I'll give you a couple things. Number one, I can't let you off the hook for the Amari Cooper take. Amari Cooper do be getting wide open. The only reason Amari Cooper be getting
enough.
Yeah, Amari Cooper is the best route runner on the Cowboys. He's the most consistent on the Cowboys. The only reason he ain't got his catches and his touches, I think CeeDee Lamb is flashier, and I believe what you've told me over the last year and change, squeaky wheel gets the grease. And CeeDee Lamb is much more flashy, flamboyant. Everybody,
but he ain't squeaky. He's a young player.
Squeaky because he talks more and he demands more attention.
A second-year player over Amari Cooper who got $100 million, you gonna let him out-talk you?
Think about HBO's Hard Knocks. The only players we saw in abundance was Dak, Zeke, CeeDee, Micah, in abundance.
That's the producers.
Like
personality.
Sure.
We glued to your personality.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's kind of what I'm alluding to there. Everything else, though, I'll give you Zeke, I'll give you, et cetera, et cetera. Who's to not blame? Who's to credit, though, for the Cowboys' success? I can't give that to Dak. And this isn't even the topic, but here's I got to give that to Jerry Jones. Keep in mind, Jerry Jones built a roster that could be insulated when Amari Cooper missed time for COVID because you still have CeeDee. Dang, CeeDee got a concussion. Well, we still got Michael Gallup. Said Wilson early on in the season balling. Jerry Jones built a roster that was insulated for Zeke's injury. Oh, somehow Tony Pollard, a third, fourth-round pick who's supposed to be a specialist for Turner. Jerry Jones mandated that Mike McCarthy fire his homeboy so he can hire Dan Quinn. If not for Jerry Jones mandating the firing of Mike McCarthy's homeboy, I believe it was Mike Nolan at D.C. last year, Cowboys would still be lost. Jerry Jones drafts Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones in the second round drafts Trayvon Diggs. It's not for Dak Prescott that this Cowboys team is 10-4. Who are the players that have been in consideration over the last 8 weeks on the Cowboys roster for MVPs either of their side of the ball or MVPs of the league? We've mentioned Micah Parsons as an NFL MVP. Little hyperbole, but some people were still doing it. We mentioned Micah Parsons as an NFL MVP more than we've mentioned Dak Prescott. We mentioned Trayvon Diggs. Y'all remember the first 7 weeks of the season when Diggs had, I believe, 6 picks through 6 games. We mentioned Trayvon Diggs as an MVP of the NFL before we mentioned Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not deserving of the credit for this Dallas Cowboys success. Dak Prescott is truly just a conduit, not necessarily the major conductor. Now,
God, you didn't say that.
What is to lose, Dak Prescott?
Oh, you finally got something? You cooked something up?
No, I had it in the notes.
Slow cooking
still
grits.
involved.
I like my minute
the biggest thing, Sel, is
what?
Cowboys are running out of tune-up games. And we've talked about this before. You know, if you're going into the playoffs, you told me you went 2 or 3 times. I went 1 time in my career. If you go into the playoffs, you better tune up. Because if you go into the playoffs sluggish, you might get got.
Really?
Cowboys have the Cardinals after this week. And after playing the Cardinals, they end the season playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Is it in Philadelphia? And the Eagles have everything to play for. Cowboys are running out of just kind of low-quality opponents who we can just sharpen our knives against. If the Cowboys don't sharpen the knife this week, if the Cowboys offense does not sharpen the knife this week, it might be too late. I've been saying this forever. The Cowboys will be one and done in the playoffs. If they can sharpen the knife this week, maybe they can change my mind.
Man, you gave just too much. Like, I need more spoons. I need more forks. Like, all this food. Like, golly, you just gave me ammunition. Oh, you playing the Washington football team this weekend, ain't he? 8-3 against that team, them boys. Tune-up games, huh? I told you countless Super Bowl teams include. Let's go back to the Ravens. Let's go back to the Seahawks. Let's just go back to the Broncos. Teams that sputter for losing 4 or 5, losing 5 or 6, going into the playoffs. Champs. But let's not do that. Let's also not do this. Say that Dak's not the leader of this team. What are they number 1 in? Total offense. What are they number 2 in? Scoring points. I love you, Trayvon Diggs. I love you, Micah Parsons. Y'all play offense? Y'all number 1 and number 2 on defense? It's this offense that led them to this position. Therefore, why have they sputtered of late? Because of Dak's slump. Why have they sputtered late? Because of the offensive struggles. One, they got their backup as a backup and running back when he needed to be the starter, especially because of injury. But I know he had his injury as well. Dak Prescott's a steady Eddie, big dog, and it's not personality-driven. Amari Cooper's in this position. Like Amari Cooper, dog, they're going to get you to rock no matter who you are if you work that. Adam Thielen to when Stephon Diggs was there. Cooper Kupp, but now Odell there. Dog, it don't matter your personality. You wide open. We got to get you that rock. I'm looking at this situation like it's crazy that we're picking on the Dallas Cowboys. I love you, though. They had a 6-game win streak earlier this year, which is a Super Bowl qualifier, champion qualifier. Followed that by 3 road game victories in December when it matters most, right? So you're looking at a team that not only upstairs, but also in performance and just in talent. They can run the table. You're trying to give me a situation where the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs can't win 4 straight? They already won 6 straight. This is a team that can play with anybody. This is a team that the mental makeup is all based on the leadership that comes from Dak Prescott. The only pressure would be on Dak Prescott is the fact that is everyone else going to live up to their billing so that I don't have to take all of this on my shoulders. But just like with Amari Cooper, when someone spouts off, when someone says something crazy, Dak going to always be the dude that takes it on the vest. Not on the chest, on the vest. Because he realizes you can't really get to Dak Prescott. Because if you dive deep into who Dak Prescott is this year, it's the best version we ever seen of Dak Prescott. You can try and go back to the rookie year. Okay, you go back to 2019, but then we're going to do what you said.
Let me ask you this.
Is it, though?
Let me ask
They have clinched with the number one offense.
Let's use our eyes, not just some statistics, because you know statistics
I look at statistics with my eyes, though.
Sure. You watched the Cowboys 2016. Obviously, you've been an affinity. You've had an affinity for the Cowboys. I was covering them in 2016.
Respect.
I don't know that this Dak Prescott from start to finish is the greatest Dak Prescott we've seen over the course of his career.
I'm listening.
Like, he may have better gross numbers because there are more games. He may have better gross numbers because this team is leaning more on the pass game than it was the rushing game. Remember Dak Prescott's rookie year?
Part of it.
One rushing offense.
I give you that.
I don't know that this is the best Dak Prescott we've seen. That, to me, is a little bit of the concern. I'm not going to knock him. Clearly, he's not going to get an MVP vote this year. He got an MVP vote his rookie year, but everything's case by case. So this Dak Prescott is good. We've established that. But this Dak Prescott isn't great. And I just think that you need your quarterback to either be great or you need your defense to be supremely elite if you want to win that Super Bowl. Last year, Bucs defense, supremely elite. Otherwise, Tom Brady's typically great. Ravens defense, supremely elite. Eagles, Nick Foles in the Super Bowl, supremely elite. Seahawks, Super Bowl, defense, supremely elite. Broncos defense, when they beat the Panthers, supremely elite. Cowboys defense isn't supremely elite, and Dak Prescott isn't so great. Whenever we talk Cowboys, I know we end up talking Super Bowls and whatnot, because that's all that matters for the Cowboys.
You're telling on yourself. Why are you always thinking about the Cowboys and Super Bowls if they ain't good enough?
Because it's the only thing that's relevant.
Taste the soup.
But it's all that matters.
What do you mean all that matters? All that matters to every other team that has worse opportunities than the Cowboys. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, we all trying to reach for this. But if I'm closer than you, you're not going to make me feel bad that I'm closer to you. I'm closer to what we're reaching for. There are 14 teams in the NFC alone that are farther away from what the Cowboys are trying to grasp. Only the Green Bay Packers are closer right now. Man, how can we put pressure on them? How can we put pressure on their leader? All I'm saying to you is whether Dak is the best version or not, we've moved the goalposts on Dak. When we saw individual greatness, we said, where's the team success? Now we're seeing the team success. We're saying, where's your individual greatness? And more importantly, then people are going to say, where are your individual accomplishments? And Dak is like, look, bruh, I'm checking every box, including the most important. I'm in the highest paid ever. And he's the highest paid player in NFL history. I don't count Patrick Mahomes' contract. I think that's a bad contract. Guarantee you Patrick Mahomes gets that deal done again before it's over because he realizes that ain't it. $500 million in 20 years from now. Like, Dak Prescott gonna get that in like 4 more years. Point being, Dak Prescott has his team right where he wants them, in prime position. Green Bay, home field advantage, if that holds true. That didn't prove true last year to be an advantage for them fully, right? So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you got to have the same confidence as the Tampa Bay Bucs last year. Even if we have to go on the road, it can still get us to where we need to go to grab that trophy that only one team right now is closer to.